Hello, hello. Unexpected podcast here at the Lions Den podcast, obviously right after the match. First leg of Puebla versus Leon. We kind of, needed to make this podcast just to give you guys our thoughts of the match and also for predictions as Leon plays on Saturday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving, so we will not be podcasting tomorrow. So we decided to hop on real quick and just share with you guys what our after match games thoughts are and kind of give you guys our predictions for the second leg so that we can come in on another Monday Night Football. Carlos, Louis, and Jose, guys, we are live right after the match. I think we all have different emotions going on, so who wants to just start off by sharing how they're feeling right after this match?
Go for
Anybody?
I'll let you guys go first.
It was very underwhelming for a team who is supposed to be el super líder and someone who is supposed to show why we are in first place and show why we need to dominate and make a statement against the 12th place team who has no business being in Liguilla. In my opinion, they had no business being in Liguilla. It's just very underwhelming. That's my final feeling. It's underwhelming, and I still have hope because we're playing at home next, and we play really well at home. And if no one scores, we still go through because we're better position on the table.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just underwhelming, man. I mean, I don't even know which player from Leon was the man of the match for us. Like, there's no one I can think of. It was just a very bad performance on both ends, especially defense. We did not show that we were the best defense all tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And
do you think the shift in that defense line for this Liguilla game has something to do with it?
That's a good talking point. We should talk about that because
we've been very consistent with our line, and obviously, we knew coming in Yaido's going to be out. We've done okay without Yaido, and then we're talking outside this and our chat, and surprise, Mosquera starting. Which we love Mosquera, but was it a risk that Ambris took throwing him in straight into Liguilla?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I certainly think it was, but I can't not defend Ambris because I told you guys in the chat before, and that's what I wanted to see. I wasn't expecting him to look so rusty or to have such a literally a negative impact on the game. I don't know, I don't know. I like to think they've been working on that in training for the these past 2 weeks or whatever. But they couldn't really because the CEO wasn't even there for most of it. So I don't know. I think that could be, it's I don't know if it's an entirely determining factor, but it was a factor for sure.
Hello, Iso. Hi. We were also texting outside of the game, and we were kind of living. He said, "Guys, it's gonna be fine. Puebla gonna park the bus, and we got this."
Yeah, I agree. I think okay, I was really, really mad for a minute after we didn't tie the game. When Mena decided just not to shoot, it would have been an easy tap in to tie the game. I was really, really mad that the game ended 2-1. Fuming for about a minute. Then I took a deep breath and I thought about it. And I think Puebla really needed to do more than they did and look to do more than they did down the stretch. A 2-1, especially with our away goal, is not much of an advantage, especially considering how well they played, how terrible we played, and they still left the door wide open. We can go in at home, score 1 goal, win 1-0, and go through. So, there's still a lot of window of opportunity there. It's nothing to overreact about. We wanted a result that shut the door on this Puebla team from the first leg, not even have to worry about it. In the second leg, we did not get that. And, they underestimated their opponent, as I was convinced they would no longer do. Mm-hmm. And now they have to prove to me that that was just not a pipe dream, that they actually Now that they're going home, obligated to score, obligated to win, maybe that will serve them better because the opportunity to underestimate the rival is out the window from the beginning.
Yeah.
Jose, any thoughts? You seem very emotional.
No, I'm just out of it, to be honest. And and I still can't believe we to be honest, like that we lost that to be. But I don't know. It all happened very fast,
Yes.
and yeah, and we didn't like we have our chances to tie the game,
Hmm.
but I don't know. Like honestly, only reason why, like, and I was telling you before this, like that we didn't score, it was all because he has like three or four interventions there that shouldn't be in a goal, and it just didn't go in. Uh, Regardless of that, those two early goals, especially the first one, that's what I was afraid that we were going to do.
Hmm.
Like not, and luckily, I mean it's still one goal. Like it's not a lot, but
Hmm.
just like so like Carlos mentioned, like it just looks bad, you know, like for us, we're supposed to be the team that's supposed to set the tone.
Hmm.
Hmm.
We're supposed to be, uh, you know, the probably the best team of the season. But then in comes Puebla, who didn't even end up in the top 8, and just shows us that when we underestimate the other team, we pay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean,
We
they
pay, but
literally
we're
just, yeah. I mean, for me, they brought us down to air level. Like we like we have the capability to do it, but we need to be 100% in the game from the first when the whistles uh when the referee whistles the whistle, we need to be on the game. Like and that was the whole reason. Like Puebla did what Luis said or had said in previous episodes that we should do when we started off the game. They started off like this, and
Yeah.
and they got as a reward nuestras intenciones uh were their win. So that's the whole reason why they got the early goal, because they caught us off guard.
I mean, it was like for them, it's like a do or die at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like what Louis said last podcast about they literally won from the adrenaline they had towards the end. Like literally, that's kind of what it was. And I feel like that kind of carried on to the beginning, saying, you know what, this Leon's gonna come out and attack. Let's just go and face off the same way. Navarrito made a huge error. I mean, it's like an error like he shouldn't have given in. That he shouldn't have given in, but he did, and the rest is history. And I agree. I think it set the tone of the game. And I mean, mentally, I was just like, oh my God, it's going to be another game. Can they make a comeback from this? I think we were talking about last podcast of Leon, for some reason this season, have they been under, they were able to make the comeback. But I mean, just think about it. If this game was just a one shot game, do you think this result would have been the same result, or you think would have been different if it was just a
no
one?
first of all because it would have been played at home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Second of all, no, obviously the mentality is different when you know in a one-off than in a two-leg set. Guys, this is halftime. This is halftime of a 180-minute game. That's the way you have to think about it. We've had halftime deficits before, and we've
It
come
is,
back
but
from them.
But okay, so defensive line. Are we va a repetir lo mismo? Is he going to start Mosquera? Because I mean, Jairo's still out,
No.
but we'll have Pedro Aquino back, or what's going to happen?
I think we'll see Pedro Aquino. I think they can't
Yeah.
afford not to impose another internal ban on him. No, I mean I think he really would have helped.
Yeah.
He adds an extra layer that Jefecito just doesn't seem to have anymore. I think that'll make a difference. I think playing at home will make a huge difference. You have to think of it. You cannot. This is not a terrible result. We wanted a great result. We got a not terrible one instead. But they left the door wide open, and I could see that adrenaline that definitely carried over from the repechaje to the first half. It started to go away in the second half, and they seemed more and more content with just holding on to the 2-1. When I really think they needed to try to go for more at home when they had us on the ropes, because I'm confident. I was confident this wouldn't happen, but I'm also confident that León will not come out the same way they came out today after halftime of this 180-minute game playing at home. I think the first half in the Vuelta will be crucial. If they score early, then they're through, and that puts the pressure on Puebla again. I think Puebla is going to find it a lot harder to score against us at home. But that first half is key. You got to get that early score. That doesn't, and then go for more. But get that early score to really put the pressure on. So Puebla has to open up, because they're obligated to score. So we need to get them opened up, attacking and leaving spaces so that we can just run up our own score at home, which is what I would like to think would happen.
Obviously, yes, there is another half of the 80 minutes, but 2-1 is really risky. If they're gonna come out the same way and they came out in this first leg, then we're in trouble. Honestly, we're in trouble. Why? Because we put ourselves in this situation, and this is what we're used to. And as it's frustrated. It's very frustrating, because did we kind of underestimate? Yes, we did. I feel like we all did. But they need to mentally fix it next game. They already know. They already test the waters. They know what Puebla's going to come out and do. Like you said, they are the ones that are obligated to score, because obviously we're, first place. That has a huge benefit. But I don't want us to rely on that the whole time. You know what I mean?
Well, we can't rely on it now. Right now,
no, we can't.
Nothing. We're obligated to score. The table positioning doesn't mean anything unless it finishes 1-0.
Yeah, let's talk about the
or 2-1 or 2-1. 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 would also bring the table position into question.
Let's talk about the tactical decision to put in Andres Mosquera instead of the usual backline, the one that we've had for the past couple of games.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think that maybe Ambriz tonight was outcoached? Because normally the right back and left back attack, right? So in this case, it would be Tecillo and Navarro who go up, and normally that's what our outside backs do.
Mm-hmm.
And so what Puebla did was they put two wingers who were very fast, very speedy, and they knew what they came out for. Those guys were going to counterattack on us every single chance that they got. The very first chance they got was against Navarro. The guy just flew by Navarro, and he scored the goal. Tabo had so many chances against Tecillo. Tecillo actually picked up a yellow card trying to stop him. Man, I really think Ambriz was outcoached tonight.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think Navarro. I think Navarro's just a poor tackler, and he missed the play there. Yeah. That's as much a part of it as everything you just said. I'm not saying everything you just said is incorrect, but he just missed it. He just missed a tackle there.
What about the second one?
Which second one?
Second goal.
The second goal. Yeah, that was a little bit of Mosquera not being ready to play.
Yeah.
Well, I would say not being ready to play, and that was Mosquera being Mosquera too at the same time.
It's true. We've known this Mosquera. All love to him, but when I saw it, I had the flashbacks of Mosquera. Now you got to redeem yourself. I don't know how you're gonna do it. You got to stick your head in a corner or something, but you got to do something, because now you need to redeem yourself. Toño 8311 said, "I don't even get excited anymore because I know what's going to happen." León has us used to this feeling. They really do. It's not normal. It's not new to us. It's more normal, but
this is unusual. What we're used to is having a small advantage after the first leg and going into the second leg too confident. This is the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So we haven't seen. The last time we saw this was in the final against Tigres, which I hate to bring up, but that's the last time it happened, when we came home with a 1-goal disadvantage.
Yeah.
And that was not the case with Morelia. Morelia came into our house obligated to score. LAFC was obligated to score. And they did. They came in playing from behind and did what they needed to do to dar la vuelta. Now we haven't been in that position too much. We'll see what they do with it. This is kind of in eliminatorias anyway. This is kind of it's territory we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So in regards to what Carlos was saying about Mosquera, so I don't like from a fan perspective. Sure, I wanted Mosquera to start because I like him, I guess, better in the lineup than Osby, but and I'm not a coach, so I don't know, but I will like I mentioned earlier, like it would make more sense for him to just keep it like it was, because especially because in Liguilla you don't want to make too many changes, and plus, like Luis mentioned that he didn't expect Mosquera to be rusty, but there's a reason why he's been just coming. He's been like having like a sub role pretty much since he returned to injury. I don't think I don't know if you guys remember. Like I don't remember any game where Mosquera played 90 minutes. This is probably the first game he played full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And what a game to do it in Liguilla. That's so Nacho took a risk, but I don't know.
It could have been worse, honestly.
Yeah.
Worse.
Yeah.
Chango Loco, hello. He said frustrating game, but we got this. You got to be on our side, Chango Loco.
Yeah, I believe with that. It's just frustrating that we had it.
We had it. We did have it. Toño again. Toño 8311. Okay, Breeze has all season to make some changes. Why right now? It just doesn't make any sense. I mean, it was risky, like Jose was saying. Very risky.
It's risky, but we're all in agreement. He took out a better player, or he put in a better player and took out a worse one. You know, when you
we go into
better player
like,
in quotes though, because he, like I said, he hasn't played. This was his first 90-minute game, so like, and you saw how like he's not up there yet. Like he still needs some, some more minutes. That like how they say, like minutes in training and minutes in an official game are two different things. That's not same thing.
He's out of rhythm. He's out of sync with his teammates. You can tell he hasn't been playing a lot. But that brings up my next question. Do you go with Mosquera for the next game, or do you go back to the original lineup?
Oh man,
I don't know. I just, we'd be patting ourselves on the back if this experiment had paid off. We all thought Mosquera's a better player than Osby. This is a good idea. Whether or not he was in rhythm. I guess, Jose, you did mention that you were concerned about him not being in rhythm, but we are all in agreement that Mosquera's a better player than Osby. And for that reason alone, it was an okay idea. This wasn't like the experimentation that he's done in the past, like putting in Ivan Ochoa for some reason, or like this is not like that. He subbed out a bad player for a good one, and that's, I don't know. I was okay with that, but now we're eating our words because it didn't pay off.
You know what's funny is that, Louis, you're notoriously known for hating on Osby, but the one time that I remember you speaking good about him was when he played against Puebla.
Yeah, I was going to mention that in the chat before
no,
before the game.
We got replay.
No,
we gotta
I
get that
remember
clip.
It was against Puebla. I do remember. No, I admit it. I remember that. I remember what you're talking about. I did say that. I didn't say he was a good player. I never said that he should have started in that game over Mosquera. I think that was his best game that he played this season. That's as far as I'll go, though.
So I'm just wondering. I mean, since there's people in the chat, what do they think? Do they think they?
No, they're free to let us know.
Do you think he should keep Mosquera, or should he start Osby next game? I'm just wondering. That's all.
I guess the question is, would you rather have the CEO in the center back position? I mean, I feel more safe with the CEO, honestly. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do. Like,
I do. There were some times where there were like two situations where Barreiro almost gave up the third goal.
And between both
See,
of them, you're like, oh god,
See,
like you
guys.
guys need to get it together in sync.
See, when Carlos like tweeted on or like sent a message in the chat that Mosquera was starting, immediately the first thing that came to mind. Oh, okay, so are we gonna see the Mosquera that it's always like a double-edged sword and Barreiro at the level that we saw him this in, or are we gonna see Mosquera as a double-edged sword and Barreiro at the level that we saw him last season? I was like, oh.
I mean, honestly, like to think like, even having Pedro Aquino is a risk because like I'm thinking, okay, how during the season, regular season, the game versus Puebla, we know was very physical, lots of fouls, right? This game, it got heated up and everything. I'm just like hoping either if Aquino starts, I'm gonna have a talk with him and say, look, we can't afford to get heated up right now. Second leg. And if we start, like both of them again, I mean, I think we're running a risk. They just need to mentally just ease up because we can't afford, especially at home, to be down 10 men early in the game. We just can't. We just can't. We leave it. I mean, we're 2-1 is a risk. 2-1 for me is a risk. I don't feel comfortable. I know, Luis. I mean, I just don't feel comfortable right now with the 2-1. I really don't.
What would you have felt comfortable with? I mean, in terms of
3-1
anything.
Leon, 3-1 Leon at least.
Yeah, but that's not. I mean, that was not a reality after a very short time watching this game. After a very short time watching this game, you knew that wasn't a reality. What I'm saying is, unless other than a scoring draw or a win, I mean, the best possible result is a 2-1. It's not a great result. It's not a terrible one, but I mean, it's better than 1-0 because you have the away goal. It's better than. Well, I guess it wouldn't be better than 3-2 because then we'd have 2 away goals. But I mean, 2-1 is not a terrible result. It's not a terrible result in terms of negative results. It's the best one.
It's just a risky.
Well, of course it is. I mean, but it's a reality now.
Because I have PTSD. It's a game starts and then early on goal. Here it goes Puebla again, and it's like, okay, guys, like we got to pick it up. Actually, Jose Changaloco responded. He said, "Mosquera out."
Okay.
Yeah.
It is risky.
I have to agree.
Gotti, but it's risky. It's risky for Puebla too. They really, I was telling you, they needed to go for more. They needed to do what we always say we need to do: go for the jugular. Put them away. Don't give them hope, because they gave us more than hope. They gave us a really, really a wide open window to come back.
Yeah. I mean, the first half it was awful. Second half it was just frustrating because Viconis, I mean, he had his match. And it was Gigliotti got heated up. He didn't have his best night. I checked SofaScore. Apparently Meneses was the worst player
he
of
didn't
the
have
night.
a good game at all.
With the 5.9, 79% accuracy out of one dribble attempt he made, that he didn't make that one. Out of 7 ground duels, he won 0 of them. And aerial duels, he only got 1 out of 1, and he lost position 20 times.
Yeah, I don't think he had a good game at all. It was not his night. I wasn't thinking stats wise or anything. I just didn't think he looked good. Even Chapo Montes didn't look very good, guys. I mean, to be honest with you, he his passes were off. Like didn't seem like his head was in the game. The intensity wasn't there that we usually see from him.
You guys think that maybe the long pause, the long break, maybe is responsible, or maybe a reason for why we're like this? Because Puebla had a really intense match against Monterrey, so they came in.
I think they came with the momentum from that game for sure.
I think that's half the story. Their adrenaline carried over, but we already said in the second half it was starting to fade a little bit, and they were looking just to protect the result rather than augment it. And I think that could be a factor. Now Leon has played 90 minutes. Leon's got their legs under them a little bit. Puebla they put in a massive effort in this game after putting a massive effort in on Sunday. And that's why I don't think they're going to come out the same. I don't think they're going to be able to come out the same way they did today. So intense, especially in our house. and especially with all they've had to spend in the last 3 halves of football, I just don't. I mean, it could happen, but I just don't. I don't see it. And they left the door way too open, way more than ajar. They left it wide open.
See, I was gonna say something, but I'm just not gonna say it because every time I seem to say something, it becomes true. So I'm not even gonna say it.
Just like write it down, put it in a jar,
Yeah,
and next Monday you'll open it, and then we'll see what the outcome is. How's
Yeah,
that?
I'll do that.
According to SofaScore, guys, Avion Ramirez was the best of the night. Play 90 minutes, 42 accurate passes equals 85.7% accuracy. Out of 5 dribble attempts, he completed all 5. Out of 11 ground duels won, he had 11 ground duels won. I mean, not too shabby. He was, according to SofaScore, he was the best player on Leon's side.
Who is this, Avion?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't notice him at all. Like they never mentioned his name. You never really saw him on the ball, but for a couple of times, or I don't really remember.
Well, I mean,
I remember a few drives he had.
Yeah, I mean, I remember some, but if he was the best, that just tells you how about everyone else was too at the same time, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Mena was after, but obviously he got he scored that penalty, so I gave him a little bit more.
Yeah, that's usually how they bump it up if you score. But yeah, I mean, if he hadn't scored that goal, then what then?
Yeah.
I mean, I was nervous. I was like, oh my God, he better make this. I'm going to be so mad. Guys, Joel Campbell, 20 minutes. Any thoughts?
I think he came out aggressive. He didn't have too many opportunities. He had one shot on goal, I think. But I don't think it's enough playing time, man. I think if I had to choose, I think he came out more aggressive than Gigliotti.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see him get at least 10 more minutes. I want to see him get his half hour. 20 minutes. If you give him 20 minutes, he's just going to come out and try to do too much too quickly. That's just the kind of player he is.
Yeah. Actually,
and we don't really need that from him right now.
Yeah.
I was actually hoping that they brought sub up Gigliotti and then put him in because maybe that way because he's still está como en otra onda, he's still not playing al mismo ritmo que todos todavía. And I don't know, he started off well, and then now it's, I don't know.
We have a comment by Jose Espinosa. He said Tesio should have been central defender and Barreiro out. Both goals were on Barreiro's side. Campbell was a no effect. I think I still like Meneses like a super sub. And then he said, I hate that we lost the streak and we lost this game unnecessarily.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care about the streak.
Yeah, I don't care about the streak either.
I just want to come out
the streak
and
is
make a statement.
Unbeaten streaks are things that small clubs like Pumas like to celebrate. So we don't. I don't need the streak.
See, when the game ended, that was the last thing on my mind. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last thing on my mind was Navarrito's attempt at goal and the rest.
He got over that defender. That defender's like twice his size, and he out jumped him.
Oh yeah,
Whenever Viconis was after,
but then there was Viconis, man.
Yeah.
Whenever Viconis was after Mena, you saw Meneses, Papito Montes, Navarrito all try and post up to Viconis, and I'm like, man, these players are not, the little short ones, little awesome ones. They can hold their ground. They're just like, what are you doing?
And how disappointing for Barreiro to be offside on that one. Would have opened his account.
I know.
With the team. Yeah. Great header too. Great header.
I thought that was in. And then she calls, and then the linesman calls it off. I was like, bro, come on.
And I was like, I gotta see the replay. I'm like, oh.
That was also
okay.
Man, what a great,
I was like, I guess the penalty was enough.
Yeah. But that was the only cross in the whole game that was accurate. Every other cross, it seems like it ended up in Viconis' hands. Shout out to Thomas Buckley for pointing that out. But we're not effective on the cross for some reason. I guess we just don't.
But
cross
we're not a crossing team though.
Enough. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's not really rare. Oh
That's
man.
but okay, guys.
Mm.
Let's go ahead and do predictions for second leg.
Okay.
Carlos, start off with you.
Okay, so I think if Puebla wants to win this and advance, they have to come out and score. But I also think they're going to definitely sit back and guard themselves, try to get something on the counter because they have some really fast wingers like they showed tonight. So it's going to be a tough game, but I think we'll be able to pull off. I think we'll be able to pull off a 2-0. I don't think our defense is going to be that bad at home.
2-0. 2-0, which is what, 3-2 aggregated?
Yes.
Yeah. If they score once, it's over, right? Is it?
No.
No, we would
win,
have to score.
We can win 2-1. We can win 2-1 and go through our
2-1.
table position.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Carlos says 2-0. Louis.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-0 as well. I don't think the defense lays another egg. I think we come out more intense. I think Puebla will not be able to come out as intense as they came out today. I think their adrenaline carried over longer than I had expected it to, but it's done. That's my assessment.
You're like,
I think we're going to win.
Done.
I think we're going to win 2-0. I think we're going to score in the first half. You know, that's going to open things up. Puebla's going to have to leave more spaces. I think we'll get another one to put it away relatively early in the second half. I mean, maybe like between the 60th and 70th minute to put it away and go through a lot more difficultly than we would have liked. But I think we will pull. I think we will get the job done. 2-0. I also think Osby will play. You know, I don't think he's got a lot of skill, but he is fast. Maybe he can stay back a little bit, keep up with those speedy wingers that Carlos is talking about, and put the seal back in his central role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what I predict.
Much needed. Okay, another 2-0. Uncle Loco Jose says a 2-0. Are you gonna go with the 2-0 or are you gonna go with something different?
Nah, he's gonna be different.
Oh, you already knew. I think. Okay. I think it's gonna be. We're gonna have to be hanging on the edge of our seats, probably, because we're gonna score 2, then Puebla's gonna score 1, and we're gonna be looking at the clock.
Stop. That has me like anxious. You're
That's
gonna go
fine.
with the 2-1 Leon.
As long as we
onto the next round.
Fine. 2-1
Louis,
is fine.
it's not fine. Okay.
It's all we need to do is
Jose's
at this point. At this point, any way we advance is fine because we really blew that first leg, as you insisted. Keep insisting. So any way to advance at this point is fine. Doesn't have to be pretty.
As long as we advance,
I'm having deja vu, Louis, of you in regular season. I'm having deja vu. This is serious business.
Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Liga games tend to be ugly like these. So all you're looking to do is survive and advance. They played themselves into a really ugly situation, and they're going to have to ugly themselves out of it. That's just the way this is going to go. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
That's what I think is going to happen. But what I wanted to happen is for us to do what we didn't do now.
Yeah.
You know. But I think it's going to be close. Like we all underestimated Puebla, and Leon underestimated Puebla, and that's why we're here, pretty much. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game. And that defense didn't leave me very satisfied. And with Osby, even if he changes Mosquera for Osby, I think that there's still room for, like Carlos was mentioning, for those pacey wingers to take advantage. So I think we might let one. And
Okay.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so 2-1. I don't know if I'm gonna think with my head or with my heart. I mean, if we go back to a regular defensive line, I feel like we got it under control. It's just a matter of managing and not letting yourselves cave in to Puebla. My heart wants to say 3-0. Just shut them up and put them away. Like they should not be here, but I'll go with the 3-0. Let's just do it. I'll just be happy about it. 3-0. If anything, 2-0 will leave us satisfied because we will still advance. So, but I'm going with the 3-0. We're at home. Am I being very optimistic? Everybody that's listening, yes, I am. But I mean, let's just throw it on in the fire right now at this point. It's do or die. So I'm going with the 3-0. Yeah, I guess we'll get Javier's prediction later on. Anybody in the chat want to give your prediction for the second leg? Anybody? I know Changaloco gave us his 2-0. Anybody watching, give us your prediction. We are almost out of here. Any last comments, guys?
What a league. What a league where a team who has nothing to do with Liguilla ends up eliminating the defending champ and could potentially eliminate the best team over the last 1.5 years. Just imagine that. Like, think about what kind of league that is. Where does that happen anywhere else in the world?
You know, it keeps the good teams honest. And we didn't deliver on that. I mean, we got to put our money where our mouth is. If we're the best team, this is the competition format. I mean, that's on us, and more than on the league, and more than on Puebla. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's you can't hide the thumb with the finger. That's that we messed up. That's why we were in this situation, and now we gotta rectify it in the second, and hopefully it's.
But yes, it's a 180-minute game. They still have the chance to show why they're the best team. And
we do.
And the game, we're halfway through this thing, and that's why I like these 2-leg sets. Usually, in 180 minutes, the team that deserves to go through does. Not always, but usually. And we have a chance to completely rectify this and make it in just a memory, an unhappy but distant memory.
I hope so. And other quick news during the León versus Puebla match, it was official from the Rayados account that Turco Mohamed was done and his time at Rayados ended. Lots of rumors, even Nacho Ambriz, which I don't know. Let's just go ahead and say no. Shout out to Eddie Rayados checking in on me after the game. But no.
If he goes, I'll be happy to take Turco Mohamed off their hands. I would love to see what he could do with this team.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
Too expensive.
I don't know. His price tag might have just gone down with that after that embarrassment.
I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. And also another news all around the world in football. Diego Armando Maradona passed away at age 60. RIP to a soccer god, a soccer legend. Kobe and him in the same year, guys. It's crazy, right? 2 huge athletes. Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
It's
all right.
It's been a tough year for all of us, 2020.
Definitely. Well, if there's no other predictions in the chat, I want to thank everybody that joined us on this impromptu podcast right after the León versus Puebla match, giving you guys our thoughts right after the first leg, kind of our predictions for second leg, as the game will be on Saturday, and we'll be here next Monday night to recap what happened. I'm hoping it's a victory Monday. We're all going to cross our fingers and hopefully have lots of beer after the Saturday win. Shout out to Wiso, Toño, Changoloco, Josue Espinosa for joining us in the conversation. Everybody that's tuning in via Periscope on Twitter and YouTube. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode 56, first leg of La Liguilla, León versus Puebla. We're gonna come back strong. So we'll see you guys next time on another episode of the Lions Den Podcast.